Well, I don't know if people know this or not. Yes, the channel that keeps changing its name. Uh, there's more than one, and well, one of them is targeted by narcs, but there's so many. We now have a YouTube police officer. That's right. And they've decided that uh, they have the capabilities of a licensed psychiatrist, which means that they had to graduate medical school, take the board and pass, and then an additional 4 more years of education. And what is happening currently is someone that, and you don't have to be a doctor to know when someone is not well. So they've appointed themselves the YouTube police. They're the chief of the chief. They're Andy and Barney Fife both, and they've decided that they're going to poke the bear of a person that they allege that they're qualified to say is mentally ill. Well, here's the thing: a person that is suffering mentally and or spiritually or both, they may react and respond in fear one day, but the next episode they may lash out in violence. Now, our new YouTube sheriff has made it clear that this person is dangerous and has been over and over. I mean, if I had a nickel for every time they said that they think that they were, because they like to repeat things over and over, and that is how the military trains people and indoctrinates, and that's how people are taught. Training is through repetition, so they definitely are doing this with intent. This isn't an accident, okay? This isn't, yeah. So, through repetition, they've made it clear that this person is dangerous. And they were convinced they're going to kill their mother. I want to ask a question of our new Andy Mayberry and Barney Fife all in one. You know, I haven't seen much of their channels content because I have other things I do, but I did happen to see that video where they were terrified. What happens if they get their hands on a firearm? That could have gone bad really quick. And you keep wah about your safety. What about you poking the bear, which is Matthew, and the people that are close to Matthew in his vicinity? Suppose he decides to go out and take a walk, or someone shows up and they have to do something inside the domicile, the house, and he has an episode because he's being terrorized by you. If he already has stress, if he's already suffering mentally and spiritually, why are you poking the bear? I despise your conduct. The first thing I noticed about you is you had no respect for my boundaries. You assigned me, you were dishonest. Now, it doesn't matter that this person, Joey Barnes, I think his last name is Barnes, if he's this is just for the sake of conversation, say he's done 10 things He's been arrested for 10 things. He's been found guilty. To then appoint me as his victim and announce that I'm being victimized. I'm his intended victim. He's going to victimize me. He's trying right now, everybody. And you couldn't hear me laughing, but I typed it for everyone to see. I'm fine. I am not in any danger from Joey. So then you used repetition and over and over and over and over and over and over again, just like I just spoke. That is how you proceeded to repeat the exact same thing that I refuted. I said, serious red flag. And then I took it upon myself, after I'd already told you no the polite way. I made it abundantly clear. That's not true. I'm telling you no. You couldn't handle no. Boys and girls, if you tell someone no, unless they're trying to help you because your hair's on fire or something, unless they're insistent because you're in danger and they're protecting you and it's evident that they're protecting you, don't allow that person in your life. People, I mean, that is an absolute surefire indication that the person is what psychiatry calls a malignant narcissist. Now, our society is a very selfish society. They've been working on pushing that for years. We're not going to just become healthy overnight. That's the norm for our society in the United States. And it's sad, but it's true. Sad and true. So I knew those, there was the action without consultation. Took it upon yourself, Virginia, Gaia, whatever, targeted by narcs. You took it upon yourself to just act upon assigning me as Joey's victim, and then you were verbally convicting, accusing Joey, and Joey can conspire all day long. If he does not act upon that with which he conspires, he's fine. And then when I told you no, I was laughing my head off. You couldn't hear me laughing. The fact you didn't even consult with me, to wiggle your way in. You just, boom, did such. What do you think of that, Joey? And no, I don't know Joey. I talked to him one time, and then I went on my way. The conversation amounted to about much of nothing. It was amicable, it was polite, it was respectful. There was nothing in it for him. I wasn't going to waste his time, and I wasn't wasting any more of my time. But when I called you out on what you did, I said, hey, I already told you no. And you decided to double down. And I mean, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She does that with trying to get me killed, you're trying to get me killed, trying to get me killed. You notice how often she does that? On many topics. The military uses repetition to train you. That's the first thing your basic training does. And it's called repetition. She does it with trying to get me killed, 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 trying to get me killed. Listen, this lady's not legit. And the people that are hanging off her ass, either you have no idea, or you're part of the problem too. I'm quite serious. And if she is truly concerned, she's appointed herself deputy dog of the YouTube. If she's allegedly afraid, as much space as there is between her, Matthew, and her, what about the people in his space? Let me tell you something. Somebody that is afraid, if they feel cornered, they can become very dangerous. But if you leave them alone, it's usually a good idea. And you don't care. And what about when you went on and on about he was gonna kill his mother? Oh, excuse me, unalive his mother. I think it has more to do with monetization. Although I wouldn't put it past somebody to try to get me a strike, which is just fine. If it happens, it happens. You said it over and over again. He's gonna unalive his mother. He's gonna unalive his mother. He's gonna unalive. My gosh, how many days did we hear that? Like over and over and over and over, like a bad song. They used to have something called records, and they were vinyl, and there was an arm with a needle. And if there was a scratch or something stuck to the grooves on the vinyl, it would play the same spot over and over again, stuck. That's what we got here. This lady is like a control freak, but she has a purpose, okay? She's attacked people that have people have enjoyed the fact that they can go to these channels and visit with these people. She's attacked these people, but yet she's now discussing the community and appointed herself deputy dog. I'm telling you, if I took notes, and listen, I've got photographs of my brain. You want to talk about a victim? I can show you what was done to my brain. Don't make fun of people. You haven't walked in their shoes and you don't know what they've been put through. And the constant, I'm a real victim. What you are is a real troublemaker and a fraud. And you're up to no good. I don't have any proof, or I'd tell you that you're guilty of treason. But if people have not comprehended at this point that we will never live as we did when I was growing up, those days will never return. There is no rehabilitation possible. We did not arrive where we find ourselves today overnight. And this targeted by narcs, you may know them under more than one name. They're not legitimate. So if you want to be taken for a ride, get on board. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.